welcome back. So ngayon, we will have another content. This is by the way under our requested subject, number theory. So I posted kasi a status sa isang Facebook group asking for a suggestion for a content sa YouTube. And number theory is one of the topic na or one of the subject na ni-request. So since we need a lot of proving or we need to experience proving under number theory. Let's start with proving. So this topic, proof by mathematical induction, is one of the topic under the subject na ma-discuss natin. So this is not just found in number theory since this is one also of the content or topic under the pre-calculus na subject if you are a STEM student. So you can also watch this one. In proving statement using mathematical induction, we need to satisfy three conditions. So, ito yung three condition na kailangan natin satisfy. First, you need to make sure that your S1 is true for these equations, for the given equation. Then, as second, we have assumed that the statement is true for n is equal to k. So, this will be your induction. This will be your induction hypothesis. So, yun yung magiging induction hypothesis mo. Then, after that, show that the statement is true for n is equals to k plus 1. So, dito na nagadepende. Okay, before tayo mag-proceed with the, with the proof, always take note na you do not need to proceed sa second 2i and 3i if hindi naman na-satisfy yung first i. So, if may na-fail ka along the way, then stop. Because at the end, it will just fail. I mean, you do not need to show that it is true all the way if sa first step pa lang is may mali na. Okay, so parang sa life din yan. Okay, hindi na tayo maghugot. Okay, so now let's do some proving. So ito yung given natin na statement that is 1 times 2 plus 2 times 3 plus 3 times 4 plus dot 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 n times n plus 1. Ito yung n term natin. So this is our n term is equal to n times n plus 1 times n plus 2 all over 3 for all n is greater than or equal to 1. Okay, so first step natin, or I mean, yung first I natin is we need to show that S1 is true. So to show that S1 is true, that will be let your n be equal to 1. So using the n term, so gamitin natin itong n term natin. That will be 1 times 1 plus 1 is equal to 1 times 1 plus 1 times 1 plus 3, 1 plus 2 all over 3. So this will be 1 times 2 is equal to 1 times 2 times 3 all over 3. So this is, so 1 times 2, that is 2, is equal to 6 over 3. Basically, this is equals to 2 is equal to 2. Therefore, thus, S1 is true. So, since S1 is true, pwede tayo makaproceed with our double I or next step natin. Again saka lang tayo mag-proceed if na-satisfy natin yung first condition. Okay, proceed tayo with the second condition. Assume that the statement is true for n is equals to k. This is our induction hypothesis. So, kailangan lang natin i-substitute yung k sa value ng n natin. So, copy natin yung whole expression or whole statement, that is 1 times 2 plus 2 times 3 plus 3 times 4 plus dot 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 plus that will be n. So yung n natin, palitan natin ng k times k plus 1 is equal to k times k plus 1 times k plus 2 all over 3. This will be your induction hypothesis. So that is your induction hypothesis. Okay, so since meron na tayong induction hypothesis, we can now proceed with our step 3. Okay, step 3 natin, we have here to show that the statement is true for n is equals to k plus 1. Kailangan lang natin i-copy yung induction hypothesis natin, but we need to add additional term or another term dito. That will be k plus 1 na term natin. So we have here 1 times 2 plus 2 times 3 plus 3 times 4 plus dot 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 plus k times k plus 1. So since mag-add tayo ng another term, that will be k plus 1 times k plus 1 plus 1. Okay? Since 'di ba, yung n term natin is n times n plus 1. So yung n natin pinalitan natin ng k plus 1. That will be equal to kung ano yung na-add natin sa left side, yan din yung i-add natin sa ating right side. So we have k, copy k plus 1 times k plus 2 all over 3 plus k plus 1 times k plus 1 plus 1. So yan yung terms natin. Okay? Then, proceed tayo dito sa right side natin. Ano na, um, do not mind na sa left side since ito yung right side yung kailangan natin manipulate. By the way, sorry. By the way, may nakapagsabi sa akin na mas madali for him o mas madali sa kanya mag-prove ng mathematical induction if may target siya, especially sa triple I natin. So, ano nga ba yung sinasabi niyang target? Yung target natin or yung goal natin, that is yung parang, yeah, target nga. Yan yung hahanapin mo na value for your right side ng ating statement. So, that will be 4n is equal to k plus 1. So, substitute lang natin itong k plus 1 doon sa right term ng ay right side ng ating original expression or statement. That will be k plus 1 times k plus 1 plus 1 times k plus 1 plus 2 all over 3. So this is equal to k plus 1 times k plus 2 times k plus 3 all over 3. So ito yung target natin. So dapat ganyan din yung sagot natin dito sa triple I natin. Okay? So now, ginagamit siya para mag-guide tayo. So that's one of the reason kaya madali siya if meron tayong maset na goal or target. Okay, so now, we need to simplify this one or let's add the term. So we have k times k plus 1 times k plus 2 all over 3 plus k plus 1. Then we have k plus 1 plus 1, that is k plus 2. Okay, take note, meron tayong common factor. So we have k plus 1 here, k plus 1, k plus 1. Meron din tayong k plus 2 and k plus 2. So now, we have here, factor out natin siya. We have k plus 1 times k plus 2 times k over 3 plus, diba k over 3 na lang yung natira dito sa first term at saka sa second term, 1 na lang. Okay. After that, sige, copy natin, k plus 1 times k plus 2. Then, get the common denominator of this term. So, that will be over 3. This k plus 3. Okay. Then, we will multiply the whole expression by this. Okay, so that will be now all over 3. So, multiply the numerator, that is k plus 1 times k plus 2 times k plus 3 all over 3. So, di ba nakita niyo na kuha natin yung target natin. That means, thus, the statement is true for n is equals to k plus 1. Therefore, okay, so this will be our conclusion now. Therefore, 1 times 2 plus 2 times 3 plus 3 times 4 plus dot 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 plus n times n plus 1 is equal to n times n plus 1 times n plus 2 all over 3 is true for all n is greater than or equal to 1. Then we have end of proof. Okay? So that's it. That's how you do proof by mathematical induction. So if you have question, please do not hesitate to ask in the comment section below. So thank you, bye bye, and God bless.